Good everyone, my name is Alex and welcome to another TV box review. For today I have a special TV box called the Xiaomi Mi Box. This has been available in the US for about a month now and it costs about $69. Now the bad part is that it's not available anywhere else. So inside this we have the Amlogic S905X, we have 2 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs of internal storage, and the box is actually running Android TV. So a bit different than most TV boxes that you see on the channel here. Let's start by checking out the box and see what comes with it, and then let's see how it performs. Let's begin. Unlike most TV boxes from China, this one actually comes in a very nice box. On the front here we see a picture of it, MiBox, and some apps that come pre-installed. On this side we can see whatever it's in the box, and on the back some specifications about it. So yeah, the box does look very professional. Opening the box, you're not gonna believe that you're looking at a Chinese product, so a very nice presentation. First of all, you're gonna find the device itself. So this is the Mi Box. Let's leave that aside for a second. If I remove this, we're gonna get some booklets. One of them it's a user manual, another one it's got some offers and so on. Inside the box here we are gonna find the remote control. The remote control looks like the remote control that you'd find on an Apple TV, for example. And this remote control takes 2 AAA batteries. I did find the batteries in the box here as well. We're gonna get this power adapter. And let me see if I can get the writing on the camera. So this is the power adapter that we get. And we also get an HDMI cable. And the HDMI cable looks to be like great quality as well. So let's check out the box. So it is very small, it fits in my palm here. On the front here we have a white LED, you can't see it at the moment. And on the back we have the power adapter port, one single USB port, the HDMI and the audio out. So we don't really have that many ports, the box is very small as well. So let's turn on the TV and see how it looks, and I'm gonna show you how it performs as well. Okay, so I turned on the TV box and this is the boot up animation. So this is running Android TV, and even though this is based on Android 6, it's gonna look very different. Keep in mind that we only have one USB port, and that means that if you're gonna use a wireless keyboard and mouse, you're not gonna have any other USB ports available. So I'm using the remote control that comes with the box. First of all, the remote control has a button for voice commands. So look what happens if I press this button on the remote control. Show me the weather tomorrow.
Tomorrow's forecast
So this is basically Google Now, the Google Assistant, however you wanna call it. So instead of typing, you're gonna dictate to the box. If you prefer typing, you can connect a wireless keyboard and mouse and do that. Alright, so let me first show you how the Android TV looks on this, because it does look different than any other TV box that we've seen. So when you first set up the box, you're gonna sign in with your Google account, and then Google is gonna recommend different apps, different YouTube videos, movies and so on, based on your searches and everything like that. So everything you see on top there are recommendations from Google. Now we do get a whole bunch of apps pre-installed, so all these come pre-installed on the Xiaomi Mi Box. And yes, you can watch all of them in HD. So if you want to watch Netflix in HD and you have a subscription for Netflix, you can watch Netflix in HD and it will work very good. And since we are talking about Netflix, I wanted to show you how Netflix looks. So let me click on a random one here. So we'll start playing this particular one. So yes, you can get Netflix in HD, which is a very nice thing, because with most TV boxes from China, we cannot watch Netflix in HD. So that's how Netflix would look. Now, if you do press that home button on the remote control, it brings you back here. And again, we're gonna have a whole bunch of other apps that you can watch. You can install some games because we do have access to the Google Play Store, but the access is somewhat limited. Again, you can watch YouTube, and unfortunately I only have a 1080p TV, so I can't tell you what the maximum resolution on Netflix will be. But in my case, on my TV, the maximum resolution it's gonna be 1080p. So you can watch pretty much anything on YouTube, and again, you're gonna have your recommendations on top there, and based on your recent history and so on. So moving forward, we have the Google Play Store here. So let me open the Google Play Store. And as I said before, we don't have access to all the apps. So for example, you cannot install Chrome on this, but here you can get some featured apps and stuff like that that are specifically built for the Android TV operating system. So you can install any of these, but if you're looking for other apps, they're not gonna be available. There are some ways to actually install them, and I did install Chrome and a whole bunch of other apps, but you will have to sideload those apps. Okay, so enough about that. Let me show you the settings app. So the settings app looks like any other TV box, the same setup. And at Wi-Fi here, we can either choose the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi networks or the 5 GHz Wi-Fi networks. And since we are here, let me show you the speeds for Wi-Fi. Keep in mind the speed test app, it's not available in the Play Store, and I had to sideload that app. So on Wi-Fi the results aren't the absolute best. We get a download speed of about 50 on the 5 GHz Wi-Fi network and a download speed of about 28 on a 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi network. So not the absolute best. Now let's go back to the settings app, and it is a bit difficult to actually access those apps that you sideload because it's not as easy as you imagine. Here at display we can check the screen resolution, so let me just show you the screen resolution, and as I said before, this will probably be different depending on the TV that you have. And for the duration of this video I have the HDR mode off. Okay, so that's it for that. We have Google Cast, we have sound, so depending on your setup at home you can change the sounds. So we'll move forward, and this is the only way of actually accessing the apps that you sideload. So you have to actually go into apps here, and here you're gonna find all the apps that you sideloaded. So for example, if I want to open Chrome, I would press on Chrome and then I would press open, and this is the only way to actually access all these apps that you sideload, because there is no other way of installing them. And now moving back to settings here. So once again at the settings app, at storage here we can see how much space available we have. So out of that 8 gigs that we get, we have about 5.1 gigs left. And because basically Android TV it's based on Android 6, you can install an USB stick or a hard drive, an external hard drive, and set that up as internal storage. So you can do that, but if you do that, you're not gonna have any USB ports available. And back once again to the settings app. If I click on about here, we're gonna see the device name. This is the device name. And here we are gonna see the version of the operating system, which is based on Android 6.01. And here again we're gonna have languages, and let me show you what languages are available. So a lot of languages available, basically like all the other TV boxes that we've seen. So a lot of languages available. For keyboards, if you want to connect the keyboard, you can use the Bluetooth connectivity to actually use a keyboard. For home screen, here you can select whatever you want for recommendations and change other little things. And that's about it for the settings app. So yes, we do have Bluetooth connectivity, and that means that you can connect a Bluetooth gamepad so you can play games. And later on when I will be playing a game, I'm gonna connect that Bluetooth gamepad that I have, that Xiaomi one, and I'll show you how some games work. And we were talking about internal memory earlier, and I wanted to show you some results for the internal memory speeds. So the reading speed for the internal memory is 113 and the writing speed is about 20. So decent speeds overall. We have another cool app that comes pre-installed on the Xiaomi Mi Box, and it's this one called Live Channels. So I'm gonna click on Live Channels, and you're gonna find some live channels here basically. So if I click on Program Guide, we can see a whole bunch of these. For some reason they don't show up the information now, but if you click on them, most of them will actually work. So yeah, very cool thing, and I did find a whole bunch of live channels that I was able to watch. So on the Antutu benchmark we get a score of about 36,000, and at info here we can see some more details about this device. So the brand name, the model name, the Android version here, the screen resolution at this particular time, the available RAM, so we do have 2 gigs of RAM, and other information about the box here as well. And for the last benchmark result on the Geekbench 3, we get a multi-core score of 2000 and a single core score of 697. And down here we can see the system information, so the operating system, the model name, and so on. Down here we can see some more information about the test itself. And for those of you that are wondering, this is the information that we get from the Digital Rights Management app. And of course we are not gonna get root access from the factory on the Xiaomi Mi Box. Another important thing is the fact that we can install Kodi from the Play Store. So you go to the Play Store, you search for Kodi, and all of a sudden you have Kodi, and it's very easy to install, and you're gonna get all the updates that are gonna be available in the Play Store. So let me go to System here, System Info. We'll just scroll through this very quickly. So I don't have that much RAM available at this particular time. I have a whole bunch of apps running in the background, but it's impossible or very difficult to actually close them because we don't really have a multitasking button or anything like that. And you couldn't really install an app killer app from the Play Store either. So this is the information that we get for Kodi. Again, since you're going to install Kodi from the Play Store, you're not going to get any add-ons. So I'm going to go ahead and install an add-on, and we'll check out and see how the playback goes. Okay, so I've installed an add-on here. We'll just open a random one and see how well it does. Hopefully this one has a working stream. Let's choose this one, for example. And of course, with these specs, Kodi should do fine with any stream that you're gonna find. So if you're just planning to get this particular TV box so you can watch Netflix in HD and watch some stuff on Kodi, this is gonna do just fine. I mean, it works really well, and you're not gonna have any issues with it whatsoever for these particular tasks. And since we have Kodi opened, why don't I plug in my USB stick with a few video files, and we can check out and see what files work and what files don't. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Keep in mind that I don't have my wireless keyboard anymore because I only have one USB stick connected to this. So let's fast forward a bit. And I don't see why this file wouldn't do good, because it does perfectly fine on most of these TV boxes with Amlogic S905X. So as you can probably tell, it does really good, but it's a bit difficult to actually fast forward with this remote that I have. Okay, so that file works fine. Let me move back. The following file is this 4K file at 59 frames per second. And as we've learned, if you keep that HDR mode on in the settings, this file should work very well. But let's see if that's the case for this particular TV box. And unfortunately, I just see a black screen. So yeah, this one is not gonna work on this particular box. So again, I have to exit Kodi and go back in, because there is no other way of actually doing that. So we'll open Kodi once again. And let's go back here. We'll try this file. This is another 4K file at 50 frames per second. And this one does fine. Okay, so we'll move back. And the following one is this 720p file. This one will also do very well. But again, it's gonna be a bit difficult to actually move forward a bit. So I'm holding this, but nothing is actually happening. Oh, it's going fast forward now. Okay, so I just want to see some movement. And as you can probably tell, this one does fine as well. The following one, it's gonna be this file here. I'll skip this one because we know that one works. We'll try this one. And this one does fine as well. And I'm gonna try this file, but I'm 100% sure that this one is not gonna actually work. So all I see is a green screen basically, and nothing else. So we'll move back. This file here, it's a 4K file that I filmed with the phone. It kind of goes okay, I think. So no issues with this one either. Even though it doesn't go totally smooth, as you can probably tell, it stops every now and then for like a millisecond. Alright, so that one does good, and I also have a 1080p file here, and this one again will do just fine. And as I was expecting, there shouldn't be any issues with this one. So that's how Kodi would work on this particular TV box. And since I have this opened, let me open YouTube, for example. And we'll check out something here. Let me search by voice. Oakville. And it does understand pretty much everything I say most of the time. And I just wanted to check the resolution here, because this, yeah, so this file is at 1080p at 60 frames per second, and I just wanted to make sure that we can actually watch 60 frames per second video. So as you can probably tell, it does go very smooth. I'm gonna let it play for a bit so you have a better idea. It did stop for a quick second there, if you've noticed. So for YouTube videos, this will be amazing. It's working very good. And I do believe that if you have a 4K TV, it could possibly watch some 4K content on YouTube. But I'm not 100% sure since I don't have a 4K TV. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the video does stop every few seconds. So it just stopped like a second ago. See, and now again. So it does stop every now and then. But for YouTube videos, it should be just fine. And for the last test, I have Real Racing 3 open. I'm just gonna play a bit so you can see how this does. And I wasn't expecting it wouldn't do good or anything. I'm pretty sure it will do just fine for most games. But you will need a controller connected to the Xiaomi Mi Box if you wanna play anything. And I'm using Xiaomi Bluetooth gamepad at this particular time, and I guess any gaming pad with Bluetooth connectivity will do just fine. And as you can probably tell, it does work fairly good for games. Alright, and it's time to conclude this video. So if you really wanted to, you could install Nova Launcher, but Nova Launcher doesn't work that well, and you can't really control it to the remote control that comes with this box. So very limited functionality. Now I think that the launcher that comes with the Xiaomi Mi Box, which is this one, looks excellent, and for people that just want to watch a couple of movies, watch YouTube videos, have a subscription for Netflix or any of the apps from here, it will do really nice. It's a very nice box. It's got more possibilities than an Apple TV box, for example. So I think that this would be a very good choice, mostly for the price, because it's fairly cheap. It's only $69. You can even play games every now and then. You can use Kodi very easily. You can install it from the Play Store. So for people that want something simple that works well, I think this is the best TV box to get. If you wanna do other crazy stuff with your box, have root access and so on, you may wanna look at other Chinese TV boxes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you did like this video, press that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.